Good morning, and please be seated. So a huge welcome to you all to our graduation ceremony this morning for Computer and Information Sciences. It's a great pleasure for us to welcome you all into the magnificent Barony Hall. I know that some of you have travelled from afar, so again, you're very welcome to our wonderful university. In a short moment, I will invite Dr. Alex Coddington to present our graduands, who will come across the stage when the name is called. I will cap them, and then we'll leave the stage as graduates of our university. And the capping process is an ancient ritual that goes back to the time of Enlightenment, signifying their graduation to our esteemed organisation. When we've finished capping the graduates, I will then move to the lectern and say a few short words. You should be out by about 3 o'clock about the university. And then we will process, if the weather is appropriate, out of the hall. So the stage party will leave first. We'll then have the graduates follow, and then all of the congregation up to the Learning and Teaching building, where you're very welcome to join us for some refreshments and some celebrations. Now, when I say celebrations, today is a day of celebration. So although we have people in their finery on the stage, and we're all wearing, well, suits, some of us ties, types of ties, bow ties. It's a joyous occasion. So when you see your loved one come across the stage, don't be afraid to make a bit of noise and let them know that you're there to support them. So please do enjoy the ceremony. It's a formal occasion, but it should be a joyous formal occasion. So don't be afraid to let a bit of steam off within reason. We've had fireworks, we've had air horns, there was a suggestion about a vizula, which we're not going to go down, but please do enjoy yourselves within reason. I now declare this congregation open, and I will ask Dr. Alex Coddington to present our graduands.
Associate Principal and Executive Dean, in the name of the University and by the authority of Senate, I present to you these students. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy for Research in the Department of Computer and Information Sciences, Zenon Lamprou. Kesper Rosea Ludvigsen. Kanar Patak. Rachel Mary Sales. For the degree of Master of Philosophy for Research in the Department of Computer and Information Sciences, Pumi Mahisha Pereira. For the degree of Master of Science in Advanced Computer Science, Mahmoud Yusuf Dorji. In Advanced Computer Science with Data Science, Kshiti Sharma. Saima Tamrin. An Hung Ching. In Advanced Software Engineering, Sheetal Navnat Chavan. Kirti Ashok Patil. Amna Tahir. Kirti Bunty Vaiti. In Artificial Intelligence and Applications, Emma Louise Dullagan. In cybersecurity, Emma Louise Bowles. Sean Doyle. Gwenita De Souza. Colin Forbes. Leslie Barbara Gibson. Scott William Hamilton. Douglas Lynch. Jill McCurdy. Kenneth George Oliver. James William Shaw. Mark Sutcliffe. Bradley Vernon. In software development, Nupu Naneshwar Dongawa. For the degree of Master of Engineering in Computer Science, Nikola Apostolov. Bartosz Benner. Mitchell George Connell. Ewan Patrick Duffy. Erin Sarah Hardy. Joshua Gavin Henderson. Roland McCain. Ross O'Hara. Ahmed Ruma. Daniel Sheikh. Robert Sim. Alex Robert Thompson. Hakan Stuart Turan. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Computer Science, Donya A.J.A. Abdul Ghafoor. Dua Abu Shala. Omar Abdul Qadar M. Al-Basri. Hamza Ali. Hamad Mohammed Hamad Nasib Al-Mansuri. Mayed Isa Yusuf Tuwer Al-Swadi. Abraham Ammar. Robbie William Booth. Max Botcher Allison. Owen Boyle. Lewis Brogan. Liam Brown. Abdullah Butt. Mohammed Zuhair Wasim Butt. Ross Joseph Munro Kearney. Andrew Campbell. Adam Chambers. Dominic Clucky. Ross Andrew Cohen. Andrew Crossan. Scott Cunningham. Michael Oliver Doig. Andrew Donahoe. Angus Ian Duffy. Lauren Duffy. Adam Michael Dunbar. Marcus Errol. Philip Popham Foles. Ewan Robin Ferguson. Graham Lackland Fleming. Harry Benedict Sidney Forshaw. Alan Matthew Francis. Mark Gallagher. Ranveer Gatora. Ellie Gilmore. Adam William Govan. Samuel Logan Gregg. Max Hagan. Tom Hodgson. Rahul Joshi. Samawat Azir Khan. Lauren Knox. James Lindsay. Katie McDonald. Amber Faheen Mahmood. Helen Iona Mann. Cameron Malcolm. Gio Matonti. Ben McCallum. Matteo McCaughey. Dylan Rylan Miller McAvoy. Martin McEwen. Kyle McLachlan. Fiona Louise McLaren. Aaron Patrick McLean. Charlie McMichael. Aidan Isaac McNally. Alistair Jack McNeil. Harry Robert Morton. Patrick William Mulderry. Innes David Murray. Nithin Naijo. Kelechi Nwakibia. Alexandros Antonov Pavlov. Alfred John Peter Quinn. Shafia Sadakat. Albin Saji. Callum Scott. Callum Sargent. Aidan Stewart. Emma Thorpe. Jacob Harper Ty. Mark Andrew Tullett. Gavin Verma. Cameron Alexander Waddle. Esme Alicia Wilding. J. Raymond Williamson. Christopher Ian Wilson. Michael J. Young. Dario Giovanni Zecchino. In software engineering, Hamza Ali. Peter John Capaldi. Aidan John Donnelly. Kieran Neil Ferry. Sarbolch Alex Kiss. Alistair Craig McGilvray. George Andrew O'Brien. Alfie Roberts. Luca Rockoil. Saida Shah. For the degree of postgraduate diploma in artificial intelligence and applications, Jansi Filuri. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Computer Science, Jamie Ian Morton. For the degree of Master of Science in Software Development, Deepak. Mohammed Zishan Asghar.
You were starting to find your voice, but I think you can do a lot better. So these students have spent between 3 and 5 years on their degrees. So I think we can all give them a huge round of applause. That's not bad. The physics audience were better, though. And do you want to be beat by physicists? I don't think so. Let's do it again. Okay, much better. So you're now the winners, and I think all of our graduates feel much appreciated in terms of their achievements. So once again, good morning, and a warm welcome to the Barony Hall. Special day of celebration for you, our graduates now, and our families, friends and supporters. We're delighted to have you join us here. We're also, sorry, wrong page. So. I was about to say what we've just done, but we're not about to do that. We've done it. So we've already congratulated our graduates, but they've shown a lot of commitment, resilience, adaptability, and determination to arrive at this day. And to achieve that, they also need a lot of support. And we know that the friends, families, and supporters have played a massive role in our graduates getting to the position that they're in today. So graduates, this is your turn now. Let's take a moment to show your appreciation for your friends, family, and supporters. And we don't want anybody to feel left out, of course, because we're a very inclusive university. And the group of people on the stage in their resplendent robes with various colours, I often make the joke about Hogwarts, but I won't do that today. Just did it. They have worked tirelessly to support our students, providing an exceptional education and student experience, and the success of our graduates reflects the commitment from our staff. So can we show some appreciation to our staff for their part in this? Okay, you're now thinking, do I have to keep applauding all the way through his 3 hours? No, you don't. That's the last set of applause until the end, hopefully. So once this ceremony has concluded, we will leave the hall and we'll have an academic procession, weather permitting, signifying that our graduates are now members of the Strathclyde academic community, which numbers almost 250,000 alumni worldwide. And as esteemed members of this community, you join a long line of alumni who've gone on to excel in their chosen fields. And this includes not only notable names such as physician, missionary and explorer David Livingstone, television pioneer John Logie Baird, Lady Eilish Angelini, former Lord Advocate of Scotland, former leader of the Scottish Conservative Party Baroness Annabel Goldie, an entrepreneur, philanthropist and long-term supporter of Strathclyde, Sir Tom Hunter. But also individuals such as computer science graduates John Ginandrea, now Senior Vice President of Machine Learning and AI Strategy at Apple, and Dr. Pauline Burke, Head of Data Science, Siri Assistant and Diction at Apple. Teaching graduate Andy Roxburgh, former Scotland men's football team manager and now Technical Director of the Asian Football Conference, or Confederation, sorry. Economics and Social History graduate and a generous donor to Strathclyde, Dr. Leslie Stretch, former President and CEO of software services company Medallia. Economics and Finance graduate Anne Dovigan, Senior Vice President of Norwegian export finance company Exfin, and Biochemistry and Bioengineering graduate Dr. Mark Travers, Global Head of Monitoring Excellence at pharmaceutical firm Merck & Co. And that's just an example of some of our alumni and what they've gone on to achieve, and there are many, many more that we could have picked from. Strathclyde was founded in 1796 during the Scottish Enlightenment to the bequest of Professor John Anderson, who, believing in knowledge for all for the greater good, wished to establish a place of useful learning. And we remain faithful to this founding principle, which continues to guide us today as we strive to make a positive impact on society and the world. We're a research-intensive institution committed to creating new knowledge and understanding to tackle the challenges of our time. And our scientists and researchers are leading the development of innovative technologies that will facilitate the transition from fossil fuels to the clean, sustainable energy sources such as wind, solar and hydrogen that will power our future world and tackle climate change. And we're developing new drugs using new digital manufacturing processes which will provide cheaper, more effective treatments in the fight against cancer, kidney diseases and inflammatory diseases. And while also helping our health services, we're evolving the new technologies to face the challenges of health and social care in the changing demographics of the 21st century. And through our focus on entrepreneurial education, which we call Strathclyde Inspire, we're helping students and staff to create new businesses with sustainability in mind, which are reaching beyond the university, helping to create jobs and supporting economic growth. And we've had over 360 startup companies arise from our student body, and almost 70 startup companies come from our staff. So it's a really buoyant part of the university. We're also leading the revitalisation of this part of the city through the Glasgow City Innovation District, which is bringing companies both large and small to work together across key research clusters, including health tech, fintech, 5G communications, industrial informatics, space technologies and quantum technologies. And much of this is based in our Technology and Innovation Centre, which is located down on George Street. And in the near future, we will be creating another innovation centre named in honour of one of our most successful alumni, businessman Dr. Charles Wang, who donated £50 million to Strathclyde. An extremely generous gift, our largest ever, and it's given in recognition of the role that this university had in his success. £30 million of this gift will be used to transform the former Students' Union building on John Street into a new key element of the university's technology and innovation zone, allowing more businesses to co-locate with the university and improve productivity, develop world-class talent, research and technology, and accelerate inclusive economic growth. We're also a major player in a second innovation district, the Advanced Manufacturing Innovation District Scotland, near Glasgow Airport, where we operate the National Manufacturing Institute Scotland facility, which is helping to grow Scotland's manufacturing capabilities as part of the fourth industrial revolution, or Industry 4.0. This will see digitalisation, automation and artificial intelligence transform the sector and provide huge economic and employment opportunities to the region. We're partners in the Medicines Manufacturing Innovation Centre, also operated by CPI, which sits across the road from NMIS, and the Digital Process Manufacturing Centre at Irvine, North Ayrshire, which is offering training, cutting-edge digital demonstrators and access to expert support on research and development. And Strathclyde also works to inform public policy on national economic strategy, education, productivity and workplace strategies through our various research institutes. We're training teachers, lawyers, journalists, civil servants, all who are contributing much to our society. And through our Centre for Sustainable Development, our globally minded staff and students are working, co-creating solutions with our global partners across academia, civil society and the public and private sectors to secure real-world impact and to tackle the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And in pursuing our vision, we understand the value of successfully working in partnership with business, government and the third sector to make a difference. And we extend our global reach through academic partnerships with the likes of Stanford, MIT, New York University, Caltech, Tsinghua, Nanyang Technological University and the National University of Singapore, to name just a few of our international strategic partner universities. And as a university, we're continually working to enhance our student experience. We're investing in our campus and our student experience as evidenced by our new Strathclyde Sport building and learning and teaching building, which we'll be in later on, and investing in health and well-being services, always putting our students at the heart of everything that we do. Our progress and efforts in all of these areas have been greatly recognised in recent years with a host of awards. In 2019, we became the only university to win the Times Higher Education UK University of the Year twice, having first won in 2012. We've also been named Business School of the Year, Workplace of the Year and Research Project of the Year in recent times. And Strathclyde was named Scottish University of the Year 2024 and runner-up as the UK University of the Year in the inaugural Daily Mail University League tables. Alistair McCall, who compiled the rankings and who previously was responsible for the Sunday Times Good University Guide and League Table, described Strathclyde as it's a hard word for me, an epitome of a progressive 21st century university seeking to shape and change society for the better through the pursuit of educational excellence and social change, and still a place of useful learning, just as it set out to be more than 200 years ago. Furthermore, last year we were named European Entrepreneurial University of the Year at the EEE Awards, and we collected our 4th Queen's Anniversary Prize, our 3rd consecutive one, in recognition of our research, innovation and entrepreneurialism in photonics, which is the science of light. And these awards reflect the quality and breadth of activities in our university across all of our faculties. But I just want to draw attention to some of the highlights from this faculty, which is the Faculty of Science, within which Computer and Information Sciences sits. So in physics, scientists have set out to determine whether they can monitor Antarctic krill from space to help safeguard one of the planet's most vital yet overlooked species. Strathclyde, the Worldwide Fund for Nature and the British Antarctic Survey have joined forces on the Krill from Space project. Krill are at the centre of the Southern Ocean food web and also climate heroes. They transfer vast amounts of carbon to the ocean depths, helping to stabilise the planet's climate, indicating the huge impact that this project could have. And in computer and information sciences, research conducted led to the fact that police have become more involved in reimbursing money to victims of cybercrime in Scotland. The study recommended that as a priority, Police Scotland should make clear to communities that it can be relied upon in cases of economic cybercrime. And also from CIS, research undertaken by cybersecurity expert Dr. Karen Renault was cited as evidence in Parliament as part of the debate on the Horizon Post Office scandal, which we've all heard about, I'm sure. And in SIBS, our Strathclyde Institute for Pharmacy and Biomedical Sciences, where they have created the world's first fully 3D printed microscope in under 3 hours and for less than £50. A fraction of the cost of a traditional device. They used publicly available designs from the website OpenFlexure, and they produced clear plastic lenses which they designed themselves, and then used a low-cost accessible 3D printer to create this microscope. It was completed by adding a shop-bought camera and a light, with the whole device controlled by a Raspberry Pi computer processor. And a prospective drug company that has spun out from academic research in pure and applied chemistry, and also SIBS, has received a share of £3 million from a collaborative cystic fibrosis drug discovery programme. So Rostra Therapeutics have received money from the Cystic Fibrosis Antimicrobial Resistance Syndicate for its work to identify new compounds with the potential to treat lung fungal infections in patients with cystic fibrosis, including those that are resistant to other antifungal drugs, which is a real problem. These examples are just a small set of the wide-ranging activity and successes from our university in the last year. And it's upon these past achievements that we will build our future and achieve the goals and ambitions we've set for ourselves in the next 5 years in our strategic plan, Strathclyde 2030. Today is a day to look forward to the beginning of a new chapter in your lives, where you will take the knowledge and skills that you've acquired during your time here to pursue, realise your ambitions. And as you forge your new careers, the university's values of being people-orientated, innovative, collaborative, ambitious and bold will stand you in good stead. The world faces many challenges and uncertainties. These challenges, such as climate change, demand solutions. And as graduates of Strathclyde and future leaders of our society, you have a responsibility to use your talents and your education to make a positive impact on the world. So whether you go on to pursue careers in business, science, engineering, politics, or any other field, remember that you have the power to effect change, to inspire others, and to shape the course of history. But with power comes responsibility. And I urge you to never lose sight of the values that have guided you so far: integrity, humility, and empathy. These are the qualities that will set you apart as you navigate the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. And as you step out into the world, you carry with you knowledge and skills that you acquired during your time at this esteemed institution. But more than that, you carry the spirit of Strathclyde, a spirit of innovation, collaboration, and excellence. Strathclyde is an institution where freedom of thought is encouraged and valued, an institution exemplified by tolerance and inclusivity. And we hope that you continue to demonstrate Strathclyde's socially progressive values, an ethos of tolerance, pluralism, and a desire to make a positive difference. And I'm confident that you will do this because you go out into the world equipped with that most valuable of assets, knowledge. And the Strathclyde degree that you now hold in your hands is your passport to success as you rise to meet the challenges ahead. So as you embark on this new chapter of your lives, I encourage you to continue learning, to embrace new challenges. Remember that the pursuit of knowledge is a lifelong journey, and that the success is not measured by what you achieve, but by the impact that you make on the world around you. So it's with immense pride that we see you graduate today. And in my first conclusion, There is only one, by the way. I would like to congratulate you once again on this momentous achievement. The university has equipped you with the tools you need to thrive in the years ahead, and I have no doubt that you will make us proud. So go forth with confidence, with purpose, and with the knowledge that you are capable of great things. And I wish you every success for the future. Thank you very much. Okay, so we've had the thumbs up, so we will be processing. So the stage party will leave, will be followed by the students, and then if we can all make our way up to the Learning and Teaching building, there you will find some refreshments. You will also have the opportunity to take some pictures with our esteemed Baedalus, who's not camera shy. So do not be afraid to go up and ask him or anybody else for a picture with your loved one and with anybody else who's been involved in the process. So thank you very much for your attention. I now declare this congregation formally closed.